Coming up on Citrus TV News, a South Carolina cop is facing murder charges after a shocking video that went public.
ISIS is making headlines for releasing more than 200 prisoners.
A major milestone in U.S.-Cuba relations is coming up soon.
And Tesla announced its newest model, but the price tag might surprise you. All that and more, Citrus TV News starts right now. Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6 for Wednesday, April 8th. I'm Ali Bauman.
And I'm Gerhard. After hours of deliberation, the jury has come to a verdict in the Boston bombing trial. That's our top story tonight.
A verdict has been reached in the Boston bombing trial. The jury found Dzhokhar Tsarnaev guilty of all 30 counts related to the attack in 2013. 3 people were killed by the explosion near the finish line of the Boston Marathon, and many more were injured. Tsarnaev was also found guilty of the murder of an MIT police officer while on the run from authorities.
After deliberating for 11 and a half hours, the jury has reached its verdict shortly after 2 p.m. today. 17 of those counts are capital offenses that could result in Tsarnaev being sentenced to death. The case now moves into the penalty phase, where the jury will ultimately decide if Tsarnaev will be killed for his crimes. Survivors just hope this situation will be over soon.
It's not something that you'll ever be over. You know, you'll feel it forever. There'll always be something that brings it back to the forefront. But we're all going to move on with our lives, and we're all going to get back to some sense of normalcy, hopefully, when this is all done. So closure, I guess, I don't think so, only because it's forever a part of our life.
The Citrus TV weather anchor Monica Hammer for a first look at the week.
It is currently 37 degrees outside with winds at 13 miles per hour. Rain showers have been on and off all day, and right now it is slightly raining, which should continue tonight. It feels more like 29 degrees thanks to the rain and wind, but it should be warming up later this week. Looking at the quad cam, we can see those rain showers coming down, and the grass is getting a little muddy, so watch your step if you're walking around. I'll have the full weather forecast later in the show, so stay tuned to see when that rain will finally go away.
The first debate for Student Association President is being held tonight. The National Panhellenic Council is sponsoring a debate in Lyman Hall at 8:30. All candidates have been invited. SA is under criticism for not allowing writing candidates to take part in the election forum next week. Official candidate Aisha Sidat is not expected to attend due to conflict with class. Writing candidate AJ Abel told Citrus TV News that he's going to arrive late also because he has a debate with class as well. Tune in to Citrus TV Live at 6 tomorrow for full coverage and a recap from the debate.
A rash of hit-and-run incidents on Euclid Avenue has the Syracuse Common Council trying to figure out how to solve the problem. There has been some talk of removing parking along the busy road to give bicyclists more room. Citrus TV reporter Jamie Weiss talked to students about the possible change.
Just last week, the Daily Orange reported that these parking lanes over here might get switched into bike lanes. I'm here on Euclid Avenue right now to see how students are reacting to this possible change. Common Councilor Bob Daugherty proposed this shift after many hit-and-run incidents on Euclid Ave. Some students are in support of this change.
There's a huge trade-off between the two. I think that having parking lanes is really important to make sure that we have the commerce in the area, but I think that having bike lanes is also important to allow people to safely travel through the area, because there's not many bike lanes, and if we reduce those, then we don't have the safe public transit that we're trying to move to also help reduce carbon fuels. I would prefer bike lanes just to help move forward with the reduction of fossil fuels being used.
With bike lanes already installed on Comstock, other students are against it.
Well, I am a commuter and I'm from the Syracuse area, so I actually do park not in any of the school parking lots, but on Euclid and stuff, so I would really prefer that they keep the parking lanes.
While nothing is set in stone, we do know the warmer weather will bring more bikers, lanes or not, to the SU campus. I'm Jamie Weiss, Citrus TV News.
Citrus TV is following that story for you and will keep you informed if and when any changes are made. A Syracuse University professor has found himself at the front of a fracking debate. Professor of Earth Science Donald Siegel has published a study that challenges previous research done on hydraulic fracturing. Most people have heard the arguments that fracking contaminates local water supplies. Studies from Duke and Stanford found that the closer you are to a gas well, the more methane can be found in drinking water. But Siegel's research claims it's no such connection between fracking and water contamination.
Well, those pesky potholes are back again this spring, wreaking havoc on the roads and our cars. Citrus TV reporter Caroline Davenport spoke with the Syracuse Department of Public Works to see what they're doing to fix this springtime problem.
Spring has sprung in Syracuse, but what else has sprung up? It's not flowers, it's potholes. Central New Yorkers are in for a bumpy ride this spring thanks to all the potholes popping up in Syracuse. Tom Simone, First Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Public Works, says he has men out fixing potholes day and night.
And we only have 2 crews on days, 2 crews on nights doing any pothole repair. And once we have everybody back on days, we put about 6 crews out there patching potholes throughout the city of Syracuse.
Even though potholes drivers an estimated $477 in damages a year. Potholes can affect mostly the lower portion of your car, including your wheels, tires, and even your suspension. Simone says potholes pop up more after harsh winters like the one we had in Syracuse this year.
So I think it all has to do with the climate and the weather we're in, and how long we stay freezing before we get a thaw.
1,997 potholes were reported and patched up last year, and this year, things don't seem to be looking any better. Caroline Davenport, Citrus TV News.
TRIP, the organization that released this report, also said that roads in Syracuse are better than roads in New York City and Albany, but worse than roads in Buffalo and Rochester.
Coming up next on Citrus TV News, a South Carolina cop is charged with murder.
And what could come from the meeting between U.S. and Cuba tomorrow? That and more after the break. That was some good improv.
Psst, they're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I think that Citrus TV is important because especially this year, Syracuse has been in the news so often, and we've often been there first to be able to cover that and really deliver it to the students.
Citrus TV News is for our campus and our students.
The great thing about Citrus is we allow students to tell their stories, and we get to listen to their concerns.
Citrus is important because we cover campus news in a way that no one else really does.
Citrus TV is the voice of Syracuse University, and it's something we're very proud of and a responsibility that we take very seriously.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
A South Carolina police officer is being charged with murder after shooting from behind an unarmed black man. This video shows 50-year-old Walter Scott running away from Officer Michael Slager. Slager then pulls out his gun and shoots the apparently unarmed man. The incident began as a traffic stop. The North Charleston mayor announced today he is ordering 150 additional body cameras to ensure every officer will wear one while on duty. U.S. officials confirmed that on Tuesday that Russia is responsible for a cyber attack on the White House system that happened last year. It is believed that Russians got access to the system through State Department computers. The hack allegedly did not impact any classified information, but instead the president's private schedule. This attack happened after the U.S. imposed sanctions on Russia for its actions in Ukraine.
2 African Americans were elected into Ferguson City Council yesterday. Previously, 5 of the 6 members were white, but the election of Wesley Bell and Ella Jones means 3 of the 6 council members will be black. Bell was elected by the ward that includes the neighborhood where Michael Brown was fatally shot last August. From 12% to 29% since the last election. This is the first election since the Justice Department released its report detailing systematic racial discrimination in the city's government.
Today in Iraq, the Islamic State released more than 200 captives. Arab tribal leaders helped coordinate the release of mostly Christian prisoners. ISIS released women and children, but also let elderly or sick prisoners go free. These people were taken prisoner when ISIS overran their town in northern Iraq last summer. And staying in the Middle East, an Afghan soldier opened fire at a group of U.S. troops in the city of Jalalabad, killing 1 U.S. soldier and injuring at least 2 more before he was shot dead. This after a meeting between Afghan leaders and an official from the U.S. Embassy in the eastern Afghan city. This was the second attack on NATO since the beginning of the year, when they launched the coalition called Resolute Support in Afghanistan.
Tomorrow is a big day for U.S.-Cuban relations at the Summit of the Americas. Secretary of State John Kerry will meet his Cuban counterpart, Bruno Rodriguez, prior to a possible but not yet confirmed meeting between President Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro. This is the first time that Cuba has not been blocked from these meetings with the United States in more than 50 years. If Obama and Castro do in fact meet, it will likely be either on Friday or Saturday at the summit. And while there's talks of peace in the West, the turmoil is still very much apparent in the Middle East. Today, Yemen officials announced that Saudi airstrikes that were intended to hit a military base hit a nearby school, killing at least 3 students and injuring many more. This according to their local education ministry. Over the weekend, a Saudi-led coalition smashed parts of Yemen's control center in the country's capital, leaving some 16 million citizens without electricity. Since the fighting began on March 26th, at least 75 children have been killed.
And now let's head over to Monaco for your full weather forecast.
It is currently raining outside and 37 degrees. Winds are at around 13 miles per hour. If we take a look at temperatures across the northeast, we see a slight drop from last week, but that will increase again over the next couple of days. Looking at the surface map right now, we see that some more rain is headed in our direction, but that should not be affecting temperatures too much. More closely looking at the Doppler radar, we see that rain headed in our direction, but it is focused around the Rochester area and headed towards Syracuse, but we aren't looking at as heavy rains. There is some snow to the east of Albany, but Syracuse should not really be expecting any of that snow with temperatures warming up. Tonight, rain showers will continue, but temperatures will remain just about the same at 39 degrees with winds at around 12 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we are looking at a temperature increase to around 52 degrees with a low of 46. Wind speeds will increase to about 15 miles per hour, and rain showers will continue throughout the day with an 80% chance of precipitation. Looking at that precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours across the country, much of the United States is looking at rain. Syracuse should be expecting around 1 to 3 inches over the next couple of days. Thunderstorm warnings are in effect over much of the country, but it is more areas to the south that should be concerned. So Syracuse should just again escape with just a light rain, while areas in the south are looking at some tornado warnings, high wind speeds, but we should escape that with just 1 to 3 inches. Finally, taking a look at our 5-day forecast. A lot of rain is expected over the next couple of days. Sunday, that rain should clear up with temperatures hitting 65 degrees, making for a beautiful day with sunshine. Monday, we are looking at some more rain, but the temperature will continue to increase to 67 degrees with a 70% chance of precipitation.
So I know they say April showers, but it feels like we're getting a lot of shower these past couple days. When's it going to start to dry up?
A lot of showers are coming our way in April, and they'll continue next week. We will see a nice break on Sunday, though, and hopefully less rain next week than this week.
But the good thing, as we indicated, no snow.
No snow. No chances of snow. The temperatures are steadily increasing and shouldn't drop down to those negatives again.
Great.
Great, and it's it's getting close to the end of the year for a lot of students who want to maybe skip class and go hang out outside. Does it look like it's going to have warm temperatures for them to be able to do that?
Yeah, we're starting to see temperatures in the 60s, especially this weekend. That'll continue next week. So as long as that sun comes out, people can have a great time in the quad playing frisbee and things like that.
Great. Thank you, Monica.
Thanks, Monica. When Citrus TV News returns, do graphic images prevent children from smoking cigarettes?
And Starbucks opens up some new educational opportunities for its workers. Stay tuned. Citrus TV will be right back.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back. According to a new study at Washington State University, showing young people graphic pictures of the results of smoking can stop them from smoking. Research shows that people ages 18 to 25 who were shown pictures and warning labels better understood what smoking results in.
Adolescents said the pictures helped them learn the consequences of smoking, like cancer and heart disease. Starbucks has expanded the college tuition program for their workers. The program is now available for 4 full years of tuition for an online degree with Arizona State University. Starbucks will pay a majority of the tuition, but it is expected that many workers qualify for federal Pell Grants and other aid. The company says that nearly 2,000 workers have already enrolled in the program.
Well, if you were hoping that Tesla's next model would be a bit more affordable, unfortunately, you'll just have to wait a little longer. The Tesla Model S 70D was released today with a price tag that starts at $75,000. The car is equipped with a dual motor and has a 0 to 60 speed of 5.2 seconds. The aforementioned cheaper Tesla model is the Model 3 and is expected to go for around $34,000, but that won't be available for a few more years.
Well, since Mariah Carey released her single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, on her album Merry Christmas in 1994, she's sold more than 14 million copies. Today it was announced that the New Line Cinema is in the works of developing a Mariah Carey Christmas movie. As of now, the project doesn't have a name, but in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, producer John Shestak said, quote, "It will be everything you hope a Christmas movie with Mariah Carey would be."
It's a Syracuse packed block today as women's lacrosse was in action last night. SU football held its pro day for NFL scouts. And in shocking news, softball has been canceled once again. Don't go anywhere because Citrus TV News will be right back.
I just moved in with his family and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Well, coming into Tuesday's game, the 6th-ranked SU women's lacrosse team held a 2-2 record in the ACC after thrashing Virginia Tech on Saturday, winning by a score of 22-8. On the other side, 13th-ranked Notre Dame is on an emotional high after upsetting 8th-ranked Virginia in Charlottesville, winning by a score of 14-4. Let's go over to the Carrier Dome now as each team is looking for their second straight win. And Coach Kerry Gate is there with the SU starters. Not much happening in the first half, but with 5 seconds left to go, there we see Rachel Sexton scoring, beating the buzzer to tie the game at 4-4 going into the half. A huge momentum swinger there. Now, getting into the second half, 5 minutes in, Howie Majerano scores, getting the assist from Kayla Traynor, and that's SU's first lead at 5-4. But Notre Dame would go on a little bit of a run, and Stephanie Toy caps that run off with a 7 to make the score 7-5. Now, time winding down in the second half, and Erica Bode there, you just see scores to tie the game up in 10. And in overtime, we have Rachel Sexton here who scores, and it's 11-10 Notre Dame in overtime. Syracuse would not come back here as Caitlin Gargan puts it away for good, 12-10 there in the first overtime period. And obviously in the second overtime period, Devin Collins would try to bring back Syracuse, but Notre Dame would hold on for the win, their second straight road win against a ranked team. Syracuse football held its annual pro day as 26 scouts representing 25 NFL teams were in attendance to watch 18 SU players work out in preparation for the NFL draft, which will be held from April 30th to May 2nd in Chicago. In attendance was former SU quarterback Ryan Nassib, who was throwing to receivers and running backs. CitrusTV talked with some of the players after their workouts.
It ain't really nerve-wracking. I think this is something we've been doing since we was young. This is a dream come true. So, I think all the butterflies been out of our stomach a long time ago. We've been used to playing in the Carrier Dome in front of a large crowd. So just playing in front of 20, 25 scouts, I don't think it bothered us at all. So like I said, I think we did pretty good. Nobody had butterflies. Nobody looked off at all. So it was pretty good.
But it was a good day overall. It was definitely a solid day, and it definitely if kept me the same, if not helped me out a little bit. So we'll see about what happens in a month.
I feel pretty good with my performance today. So it's all about how that GM and how that coach feel that day. So I don't pay no attention till 6th round, 7th round. I kind of let keep working hard, let that stuff take care of itself.
The accolades for Kevin Rice continue to pile on. Rice has been announced as a finalist for the 2015 Senior Class Award, which awards candidates for having qualities that define a complete student-athlete. Academically, Rice has been on the SU Athletics Director Honor Roll for his first 7 semesters on campus. On the field, Rice currently leads the NCAA in assists per game, points, and points per game, and has helped lead the Orange to an 8-1 record on the season. Fans can vote for Rice online, and the winner will be announced during the NCAA Lacrosse Championships. Rice and the Syracuse men's lacrosse team will take on North Carolina on Saturday at 4 o'clock. And you can tune into OTN for Orange Press Pass live at 8 o'clock on Saturday to recap the game. And in the shocker of the century, the SU softball team has yet another game canceled today this season. Today, the doubleheader against Binghamton was canceled due to inclement weather, marking the 11th and 12th softball games that have been canceled. Syracuse will travel to Buffalo tomorrow to play Canisius at 5 o'clock. And no word yet if an unexpected lake effect will take place and cancel yet another game. Well, but baseball fans in the SC area can finally rejoice as the Chiefs start their season tomorrow. The AAA affiliate of the Washington Nationals will begin the new campaign in the International League against the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Leaders, who are the AAA affiliate of the New York Yankees. The game begins at 7:05, and minor league all-star A.J. Cole starts on the hill for the Chiefs. And in more shocking news, the UConn Huskies defeated Notre Dame on Tuesday to win 63-53 the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, capturing their third straight title. The Huskies were led by Syracuse native Breanna Stewart, who had 15 rebounds in the championship game and was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four for the third straight year. And in less impressive news, UConn head coach Gino Auriemma won his 10th national championship, joining John Wooden as the only NCAA coach to achieve such a feat. And in more basketball news, the national title odds for the 2016 Men's Basketball Championship have been released, continuing the age-old tradition of way too early predictions. Despite a very highly ranked recruiting class led by Malachi Richardson, Syracuse currently sits at 66-1 odds to win it all. Other teams that have the same odds are Syracuse are Northern Iowa, Oregon, Purdue, VCU, West Virginia, and Xavier. ACC rival UNC has the best odds at 6-1, while the national champions Duke have the fifth best odds, tied with Kansas at 16-1.
Well, Christian, as you mentioned, another softball game canceled. We saw some inclement weather possibly this week. Does that mean that the Syracuse Chiefs opening day could be in jeopardy?
Yeah, unfortunately it could be, especially with the rough weather taking a toll on the field. We know that the softball team has had problems with the field because of the weather. I wouldn't be surprised if the field isn't ready for opening day for the Chiefs, but we can all hope.
Right.
And after Pro Day, any kind of predictions of where some SU players might end up?
Well, safety Darrell Eskridge, who we saw in the little video that we had earlier, is projected to go in the middle rounds, probably as a third or fourth pick. Other people, such as Sean Hickey and Cameron Lynch and Dyshawn Davis, are projected to go 6th or 7th, and everyone else is hoping to sign as an undrafted free agent.
Great. Thanks, Christian.
Thank you. And coming up after the break, Monica Hammer takes one last look at tomorrow's weather.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Now let's take one final look at the weather with Monica Hammer.
Tomorrow, temperatures will increase to 52 degrees with a low of 46. Rain showers will continue, and we are looking at 1 to 3 inches over the next couple of days, so grab that umbrella and those rain boots.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Ali Bauman.
And I'm Gerhard. Have a great night, Syracuse.